So we have a question here from Kay, and they've emailed in the question. And the question asks, I'm heading to the INTA conference in San Diego in May. I haven't done one of these big international conferences before, but I'm sure I'll have lots of meetings with potential referrer firms. Beyond business cards, what should I be bringing to these meetings? Great question. Thank you for the question. So let's start. I thought I'd start with a bit of context for the audience. So the INTA conference is for trademark attorneys and IP professionals. And by way of background, IP professionals, so lawyers, patent attorneys, trademark attorneys, they'll build what's called like reciprocal relationships with firms in other jurisdictions. And the idea is that businesses, so their clients, will often need to register a trademark or a patent in their local country, and they'll do that with a local firm. But as they expand geographically, they're going to want to protect their IP in other jurisdictions. So the local IP professional will then send that work to a partner firm overseas. They call these affiliates. And the idea with these relationships is that they send work like back and forth to each other. So with that context, let's go back to the question about what should you bring to the conference? And you asked about, well, you mentioned the business card. Should you bring, the business card? Definitely, they still have a place, especially at like big events like this. But what I'd recommend doing is create a custom card for the event with a photo on it of yourself. And it might feel a bit cringy, but you're about to meet a lot of people. And by adding a photo on your card, it's just going to help them remember who you are. If you're feeling a bit more adventurous and you've got a bit of time to set this up, and it's in May, we're recording this in Feb, so you should have time. Add a QR code to the business card and create a Linktree account. So the QR code will link to that Linktree account. And what a Linktree account is, it's a one-page site. You can set it up yourself in about 20 minutes, and it's just going to have links to, say, your social media accounts. So your LinkedIn, if you're using X, you could even have like some links to, say, some recent thought leadership articles that you produced. I'd also, if you're going to do that, include a Calendly link. So it's going to be really easy for people to make appointments with you. As to what else you might want to bring, a gift is kind of a personal choice. Like if it makes sense to do a gift, perhaps bring something like that. Depends, on your personality. I wanted to raise though some more kind of intangible things that you're going to bring. So I thought a good way to describe this was to base it on my own experience. And I went to a business / marketing kind of conference in Bangkok late last year. And what I did was, first step was I got the list. So most conferences now will have the attendee list in the conference apps. So they'll usually have an app for the conference and you'll be able to see all the attendees there. It used to be that the lists were kind of reserved for the sponsors, but these days it seems to be a lot more open. So you get the list. And what I did was, I scheduled meetings before the event for times in like the lunch breaks and the dinner breaks and the coffee breaks at the conference. So rather than kind of like just who do I meet on the day, I'd already pre-set up at all those breaks to have coffee with someone, to have lunch with someone, to have dinner with someone. I was really intentional about who I met at those breaks. And from my experience, I got really amazing value out of doing that. And I'm actually now working with a couple of people from that conference. So to bring it back to your context, IP professionals, this game's all about reciprocity. So the conversation point is really easy to approach people, to have coffee with, lunch with, and so forth. What do they really want to know? They kind of want to know what type of clients you work with. So what are you going to bring? Well, I think be prepared to talk about the type of local work you do and that you're likely to need international affiliates to handle. So in the background, you're going to research firms and people where you might have something to offer them and vice versa. I also wanted to preempt a follow-up question, which is, should you bring a capability statement with your credentials to the conference? And my view on it is absolutely not. I think if you hand them a capability statement on the same day that you meet them, they're going to know it's like this boilerplate document, probably not going to read it. It's not going to be tailored to the conversation that you've just had with them. So give it a week before sending it to them. You can probably do a lot of the background work for the capability statement beforehand. Add in a cover letter based on the conversation you had. You might hide or add some experience where it makes sense to do so, but don't bring a capability statement to the meeting. So to wrap that up, what to bring? Business cards, absolutely. Consider the photo and link tree ideas. Maybe bring a gift. But what I really want you to bring is that planning. So you spend some time about being intentional about who you're going to meet with there and why you want to meet with them. For me, it's all in the preparation.